Hi, everyone. I am Linda Wellbrock, the founder of Leading Women Entrepreneurs and the New Jersey Force for Change Awards during COVID. And we have a special guest with us today. She is a former top 25 leading woman entrepreneur, and she is a very important advisory board member to my organization. And I'm so grateful to her for all of her help and support this year. We have Kelley Kurtzman with us, who is the Vice President of Global Sales and Service Centers at Verizon. Welcome, Kelley.
Thanks, Linda. I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure, and we can't wait to learn a little bit about your services that you provide and how you've been helping all of your employees and the company grow during this difficult time. So let's start with actually the employee part. So I know that you're so passionate about employee engagement, and in this new environment that we've all been trying to get used to, how have you kept them motivated?
I'll tell you, it's been very different. I think about visibility being so important always, and visibility has a whole new meaning now. And so I think really about how do we stay connected with our employees, whether it's videos or Zoom meetings or even just texting or phone calls, really staying in touch with our employees with positive messages and reinforcing and recognizing their strengths and their accomplishments and guiding them through what's happening, in the globe. And I think about, there's never been more important time for us to be stewards of society. And in my case, it's really our employees that are part of our society. And so how do we really care for their well-being during this time? And one of the ways I think we can do that and accomplish that is really through raising our consciousness and our awareness. Awareness brings choice. And we can choose to be accepting, and we can choose to learn, and we can choose to listen, and really choose to act on others' behalf. So just really trying to have a lot of different messaging and keeping it positive and caring for our folks.
Tell me, how many employees do you manage, and what are the services that your group provides?
We have, in my particular organization, we have about 3,000 employees. I've got the sales and service centers for FiOS. And so we're really focused on providing great services for our customers. And if you think about during this pandemic, people are more and more dependent on their internet services, being able to be connected at home. And so that's really been great. And I'm part of a bigger team on the wireless side. And so, of course, all of your wireless devices, your connectivity, our network has been critical to keep people connected during this time.
You are a lifeline during this pandemic. So thankful for all that you're doing to keep us all connected, because without our phones and technology, obviously this and nothing else would be possible. I know that you're also equally enthusiastic about giving back to the communities you serve. Mm-hmm. And I'd love for you to talk a little bit about how that has changed basically during the given crisis that the entire nation is in.
Yeah, sure. So there's a couple of things. One, I serve on the board for JBWS as the vice chair. They provide safety support and solutions for all victims of domestic violence. I'm also leading our volunteer efforts for our Verizon Consumer Group customer service organization. I'll start with JBWS. Clearly, this has really exacerbated the danger for victims of domestic violence, given the pandemic and the fact that you're at home. Can you imagine being stuck at home with your abuser? So we've worked really hard on making sure that we have a great awareness and products and services for our domestic violence victims. And we've flipped into more of a virtual mode, as you could imagine. I'm also the chair of our Grand Tastings, which is our big annual major fundraising event. And our generous donors, and thank you to you, Linda, for making sure that you helped raise awareness. We raised over $400,000. So that has helped us keep our doors open and keep our full services out there available. So that's really been great. And then from a Verizon perspective, we've really been focused on how do we be better corporate citizens, world citizens, and help progress economic goodness and well-being in society as well as environmental. And our goal is to deliver 2.5 million volunteer hours by 2025. And we have three key areas that we're focused on. So one is climate protection, one is digital inclusion, and one is human prosperity. So being in charge of that, we started the beginning of the year with doing in-person volunteer events. We did this great disaster relief recovery kits for helping hands. And then, of course, COVID hit, and we had to quickly pivot to do virtual events. And we've really tried to be targeted. We did digital thank you notes to healthcare workers, and we've done letters to elderly folks in homes that can't have access to other people. And then most recently, we've really pivoted to make sure we have more diversity and inclusion type items. So we had an awareness around Black history. And so we're really trying to stay focused on how do we keep our teams connected and feeling good about giving back. I personally feel so blessed and fortunate in my life. I think that we have an obligation to give back, making sure that we're helping everyone have a safe place to live where they feel loved and healthy and happy. And I think it's a great aspiration we should all run towards.
Listen, I am sitting here just so inspired by, your work and Verizon coming out as a conscious leader in the corporate world, and hopefully many more will take your example and follow it, because you have the power to make a real impact and a change on so many lives through this volunteer program that you just described. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you live in a world that is the cutting edge of all technology. So how do you keep yourself up on all of these industry trends?
Yes, I'm also serve on the board. I'm a co-chair of the board for CCW, which is Customer Contact Week. And we have a series of events that we do throughout the year that really bring these great brand, world-known brands in that talk about CX technology and what's happening in the call center space, the contact center space. And it really provides a great conduit to get to know what's happening in the industry and what people are doing on behalf of their employees and their customers. And so that's been a great way for me to really stay in touch. We just pivoted our CCW Vegas event to CCW at Home, which is happening right now this weekend and next week as well. And it's really about how do you go and spend time and benchmark and best practice to really understand how to be resilient and understand business continuity. And so it's been great to have that connection to understand technology and people and holding it together. So that's one area that really keeps me connected. And then, of course, being on your ad board for LWE, I just feel so proud to be engaged with the innovation and advocacy for women. And I just want to thank you how you've just done such a great job really recognizing women and promoting women. And I think we have to do more of that and just appreciate your efforts there. But it's a great opportunity for us, especially in these challenging times, to pull together and help one another.
Well, we are so thankful that you see our vision and that you've jumped in and helped us in so many different ways, and that we have gotten the insight of such a key influential leader in the business community. So happy to have you in 2020 with us. And we're going to shift to a little bit of a lighter question.
Okay.
During this pandemic, it's kind of brought out new things in all of us. And I'd love to know if you've picked up any new hobbies during this time.
Well, I actually have. I used to travel about 50% of the time. And so now I'm home. It's just been a little crazy. And so one of the things that we've done, and it was actually one of our volunteer events that we did, because we sponsor our Verizon Innovation Learning Centers and these schools across the country. And so we sent out these kits to our leadership team to do these little art projects. And so we put them together. It's very cool. You actually take your Verizon Wireless phone and you show the picture on the canvases and you just trace them first and then you paint them. And so it's been really fun. And I'll tell you, if I didn't have this do-it-yourself kit, I could never do that. But again, so we're taking pictures of those, and those will be posted in some of the back to school in the Newark area as the kids come back into school to welcome them, because they typically have teams clapping them in. And of course, no one will be there to do that. So it was just a way to have them feel welcome and warm when they come back to school in the fall.
Oh, and what a beautiful way to bring some new light and energy into those hallways and into those children's lives. And I'm super impressed with your art. Really.
It was awesome, and a good stress reliever, and really focused, and so it was really great. So my heart feels full, and I know that we're helping others at the same time. So it's a win-win.
Well, you are such a champion for positive change in the community and the state. and globally. And we are so honored to have you as an advisory board member. I know you'll be with us for all of the Force for Change and Top 25 Leading Women events, and can't thank you enough for your work. And we are just thrilled to have you today.
Thank you so much, Linda. I really appreciate you taking the time, and I loved having time together with you. And thank you again for all that you're doing. I'm super excited to see all the illuminators and the leading women entrepreneurs and the crusaders. It's really going to be a great fall.
Yep, it's a powerful group. So kudos to all of us, and we will see you there.
Thanks. Sounds good.
Take care.